welcome to season 2, episode 3 of Straighten Your Crown. Today we're joined by Brittany and Kristy. Hello. Welcome. So happy for you to join me. Okay, so this time around we are talking product versus services and which one's better and roughly how much money, time, energy you need to put into each of those.
So like pros and cons
Pros
of
and
service
cons.
versus product?
Yeah,
You're
pros
right.
and cons, yeah.
Because I think it's all dependent on who, like what your capability, like, yeah, it's all going to be dependent on you personally. So we'll just throw you all the pros and cons and you work out which one's going to work well for you.
I think, so let's start with service-based business. I think service-based businesses are easier and quicker to set up. So like for instance, a service-based business.
Photography. Law.
Business coach, life coach.
Cake cooker.
Cake cooker?
Yeah. Baker? Would
I reckon they've got a name for these people. But yeah, anybody that provides a service rather than selling an actual product, as in, you know, here buy my vase or, you know, whatever it is that you're supplying. So I think, yeah, service-based businesses are definitely quicker and easier to set up, but you're leveraging your time. So, you know, if you're a business coach, then, you know, for every hour that you work, you get paid for the hour that you work. And there are ways to scale service-based businesses, which I think we can talk about shortly, but we'll have a look at product and services first.
Yeah, I think. And then product is obviously like import, sell it, and then you obviously have to have a lot more capital to obviously do that.
Oh, it doesn't have to be import. Like you could make it. So
well,
like
you could make it, but even then,
like Empress,
but
Athleticus.
okay. So this is where we had this conversation the other day. So there's service and product, but there's also service product, and that's kind of where we're falling into because in regards to a standard product business, you would put $20,000 and get 20,000 undies or something, right? And then you then sell those undies for whatever price that you need to sell them for, and then you would use that money that you've made to then get
buy
more
cups.
undies.
Yeah.
And then it's just like this constant backwards and forth of selling, whatever. Now, obviously, the difference between that and service is you obviously need to invest money into it. Where with service, it's kind of a situation of you're investing your time. But if you're sick, then you obviously are losing money every hour that you're not working.
Or you want to go away on holidays.
Or if you want to go away and stuff like that. So it's kind of like, there's pros and cons with everything. With what we do, and this is why I say it's kind of service product,
and product.
because we have to make the goods, then we have to sell the goods, and sometimes we do pre-order where we're selling it before we're making it. So it's kind of like this, a little bit of a different setup. And also I know a lot of little businesses, like hobby businesses, aka making scrunchies or candles. That's kind of the same thing too. Like they're also using their time to make the products, but then they're also having to sell the products and then get the money back.
So there's really kind of three things. So we've got sort of a service business where you're like a business coach or a photographer or whatever. You've got a product business where you bring in a whole heap of cups from China or whatever and sell them for a profit. And then you've got what we do at Empress Athleticus, which would be a little bit of both.
So you guys have both kind of been in all of the industries. You know, you've sold a product, you've had a service, all of that kind of stuff. What were the kind of pitfalls of each of those, and where would you recommend people start when they're making that first step and choosing what they're going to be doing?
Yeah, you start with that one.
I think it's going to be dependent on how much money you have. Because if you have money to invest, I would always recommend product. Because I personally, I think product is easier to scale than service, because obviously you're relying on yourself. You know what I mean? And if you're sick, that's your income gone. Unless you're going to have multiple streams of income going on, then sure, why not? It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? If you're sick, you just have your income coming from another location.
I think that's in initial stages though, because if I look at, say, the law firm, which is a service-based business, it's smarter for me in that instance to create a service-based business because I've got a background in law and an education in law. And initially, you're absolutely right. You know, if you're sick, your business is sick, you know, you're not earning anything. But longer term, where you can scale that, where you bring on other lawyers and other lawyers and other lawyers, but you're still providing that service. So I also think you need to take into account what you're passionate about, what you're good at, and, you know, if you're educated in something and you want to work in that field, then that as well. Because I probably think the opposite, where I actually think it's probably easier to build a service-based business than a product-based business.
Oh, really?
So it's interesting, isn't it? Yeah. Got different perspectives on it from,
Well, I think my service background was I had a photography business when I was younger, and then obviously my parents were in a service business. So I see that experience that I had. Obviously, I was working by myself, and I didn't have any other employees, and it was a situation if I didn't work the hours that I worked, I just didn't get the money for it, and that was annoying to me. Where I like the fact with Empress Athleticus or with product businesses that we've had in the past, you can go to bed and you wake up and you have money. That's nice.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's not a situation of you have to go out and try and find leads and convince people to buy something, or, you know, do all these things. It's kind of like once you put that initial investment in, you set up all your marketing to then, you know, make sure they're going out to your target audiences, and it's a situation if you wake up, you have that cash, you dispatch it, you get more customers. The thing that I don't like about product is that it never stops, and I think this is just business in general, isn't it? Like
It happens with service
like
as well.
we get to our target for the month, and then we've got to get to the next target, and the next target, and the next target, and the goal always changes, and it always gets harder to get there. And every time we get to one place, it's not like we can just go, okay, cool, well, let's just find more people like that. Because it's in e-commerce, it's very difficult to try and find your audience all the time. And obviously we have to find a bigger audience.
That's us putting pressure on ourselves to, you know, build and grow, because we've got a vision of what we want Empress Athleticus
But if
to
you
look like.
say if you did a product business and say you imported 20,000
Cups.
teeth whitening things, or something, I don't know, cups. We can keep saying cups. Cups. If you invested $20,000 in cups, you obviously want to get that $20,000 back as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
And that's your money. Your money's tied up in cups. So you're going to be trying to do whatever you need to do. And
To
like I
sell
said,
cups.
that goal of how to do that is always going to change. And you have to be nimble in regards to, you know, maybe Facebook's going to work this month, but then it might the next month, and then you're going to have to go onto TikTok. Like, there's tons of different things that are going to happen, so you just have to be very nimble with it and understand that no matter which one you choose, it's going to be difficult regardless.
Do you think that when you're starting out a product business versus a service business, that you have to put in a lot more free energy into one of them? Like when you're I just know that we've got friends that are photographers or that make candles or earrings and that sort of thing, and to get, well, maybe not the candles and earrings, but photography, you know, so many free shoots. Like, I'll do it for free with the hope that they'll buy a photo or they'll tell their friends. Like, do you think that it would be easier to just have that product there and go, hey, do you want to buy this? Hey, do you want to buy this?
Like I said, it's difficult for both ways, because even us, like, you know, giving free product to, you know, brand ambassadors so they get our name out there. You know what I mean? Like, it is very difficult no matter which one you choose, but you just have to be, if you have an idea, you're passionate about your why, just do it. And know that you're going to have to put a lot of energy into it, and hope that it's worth the, you know.
Worth it in the end.
Yeah, worth the risk. That's not very positive, is it?
Not really.
Good luck. But it is like I don't want to be, you know, miss positivity about it. Be like, you know, it's going to do great, and you're going to make all this money, and it's going to make your life so much easier. It's not.
It's what you just said before, when you're like, oh, when you have a product and you just wake up and you've got money. Not every day do we wake up and we have money.
So much.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, like, even us. Like, there's days it takes us until lunchtime before we make a sale. You know what I mean? Like, different days, happen different ways, but we're, you know, strategizing in different ways to make the marketing work for us. I think a really good way to start, again, we brought this up in a bad advice episode, so if you want the good advice, here we are. But side hustles are a really great way to start, because you're not going to be stressed about having to make the money. You're going to enjoy doing it. For instance, myself, I love working on Empress. It's like a hobby for me. I enjoy it. I don't ever regret spending the hours that I spend doing what we're doing, because it's fun for me.
And you believe in it.
Because we believe in it. But if I was sitting here super stressed about money, I had, you know,
bills to pay,
I would be making bad decisions for the company, because I'd be like, Kristy, I just need to make money. Like, I have nothing. It would be so much more stressful. So I know a few people that have side hustles. For instance, Lacey and Gloria, they're a fashion boutique. They sell dresses. Fantastic couple. Married couple. They started this as a side hustle. and it was great. They imported dresses, they sold them, and now they're getting to a point now where they can then take that on as a full-time job. But they, it was good for them because they still had that full-time income coming in, so they could enjoy the process of starting a business.
So if you can keep that day job,
yeah, it's good. For instance, James is another option. So James has a drop shipping company. He sells sunglasses. But again, for himself, because he's not stressed about making money from that business, he can enjoy the process of it. He's making smart decisions with how he's targeting his marketing,
and setting it up properly too.
Yeah. Even with
which
us
is why
too.
it's so awesome. Well, we did the same thing, didn't we?
Even with
because
us
there wasn't
too.
any urgency
No.
for us to,
I think the only urgency that Empress Athleticus had was that you guys wanted to start it as soon as possible.
Yeah.
It wasn't like we have to start it because we need to start making money. It was we have to start it because we're so excited to see what you guys. And that's that massive difference, isn't it? That's the circling back to last week's episode. It's the why,
100%. And even too, with marketing, let's talk about marketing for 1 second. Also, did we put marketing on here as a topic? Because I feel like that's a really...
Oh no, it's right at the end, episode 24.
Well, let's just quickly sum it up for 1 second. So the biggest thing with marketing, it takes time to get an audience. AKA Empress, we've been around for 6 months now, is it? 6 months? 5 months?
Yeah, 5 months.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah. We've been open for 5 months.
Has it opened that long? Because we opened on the 13th of March.
April, May,
June, July.
4 months. Beautiful. Okay, so we've been open for 4 months. Today, we just hit 10,000 followers on Instagram. So probably when you're seeing this, it's probably been a couple of weeks now, but we just hit that 10,000 mark, meaning we can have swipe up links, we can target our marketing slightly different. There's so many different things that we can do. But building that audience was a massive thing. And I remember telling you guys, I was trying to explain it to you guys, and I was like, I don't know, we need to spend money here, we need to target these. Are you okay to know that, we might not be hitting targets, but we'll be gathering all of these leads for then future months. And Kristy and Sam and James were like, yeah, no problem. Because at the end of the day, that's our why. We're not desperate for the cash to come in straight away, that we can take our time, set up things correctly, make sure that our audience make sure we're targeting the right customers versus just spamming everyone and then ruining engagement. It's just it's very nice and calm.
The Calm app that you see on TikTok, when it's like, do you want to have better sleep?
Or you love watching organized TikTok where they're pouring the rice into
that is heaven.
We love that.
Yeah, Bee's cupboard, it was glorious. We loved it.
So I guess the situation is figure out what you want to do, even working too with your, figure out what your strengths and weaknesses are.
Yeah. I'm never going to offer either a service or a product because I don't do well with people and I am not creative.
But you're a really good employee. We love you. You're pretty to look at. No, but I think the situation is, working out, okay, what are my strengths and weaknesses? What strengths could I bring to a service business? What strengths could I bring to a product business? And then work out your pros and cons from there. If you are wanting to do product, understand that, you probably are going to have to invest some money or do what James does and look into some drop shipping companies. Because James, again, his overall investment's only been $440 or something to actually set up the whole business. If you are looking for manufacturers, we went over this before. So Import Yeti is a really good one to see what other brands are doing, big brands. It literally is just a database of all the supplies that big brands are doing. Some of them are a little bit incorrect, but it's a good place to get some contact numbers. Yeah.
It depends what you're wanting to bring in.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. And the different qualities that you can bring in from overseas as well.
Yeah.
So check those things out.
And you can also pay for better quality as well. And this is the thing that people don't ever understand. So Alibaba, for instance, you obviously have all the products on there. You've got tons of different suppliers. And say you want to buy a cup. Well, the cup that they're advertising, see if you can get a better version of that cup. If you paid more, if you did better, or whatever, how better
or whatever.
how better quality could they supply? Because they're used to people being like, oh, I want to pay as
I want the
little as
cheapest
possible for the most decent looking cup. Okay, well, supplier, what if I gave you this much more money? How much better is the quality then? Like, you've just got to kind of figure out, you know, have a little look around, tons of research. Another great place for research is TikTok.
Yes.
That's where James has actually got tons of his information from, because there's tons of dropshipping companies on TikTok, marketing TikTok. Me and Madi are on marketing TikTok.
We love it.
And yeah, there's just tons of strategies. But I think the biggest thing is the more information you can get. You can never have too much information. Just research, make sure that you're understanding. Just put your feelers out there and start figuring out what you want to do. I'm really bad at starting Straighten Your Crown, but I'm good at summing her up. I let Kristy talk, and then I'm like, okay, yeah, I can go with that.
Well, thank you, ladies. Episode 3 done and dusted. We will see you on the next one.
See you guys. Bye.